Hi everybody, we're back. We're going to be doing the new moon in July tarot reading. So the new moon in July is in Cancer. That's going to be on the 20th of this month. Cancer is a water energy. Cancer is all about emotions because it's a water energy. So last month, the new moon was also in Cancer. So we're having another new moon in Cancer here in July 20th, 2020. Twos are about balance, harmony, merging of energies, self-care, and water signs are really about your emotions and self-care. The sign of Cancer, one of the things that you can really do to enhance that energy is Cancer represents nurture, so nurture from the Mother Earth, that nurturing energy. So if you can, if the weather permits, it's been a really dark day today, and I'm actually doing this kind of late. My it's just been a little crazy, but I don't know what the weekend brings. If you can, get out and enjoy some outside weather, nurture yourself. I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be cleaning out barns. So I don't know how enjoyable that will be, but it's going to have me outside anyways. So yeah, outside, taking up some of that nice nurturing, healing energy from the earth, nurturing ourselves, is a good place to start with this new moon because it's in Cancer. So always self-nurture. And let's see, our sun's in Cancer as well. So even though it's a lot of emotions, it's in the same energy. So it's a little more harmonized, which is nice. And it's on the 20th, which is, harmony and balance. And in the year 2020, which is 2020, which is all about balance and harmony. So for the new moon, let's see what we get. I hope everybody survived the last full moon. The moon had been going through a lot of watery energy from the new moon right straight through until it hit its full moon. And the full moon, when it hit that, it was earth. So there was a lot of ability to make some mud. And mud can often create emotional triggers. So part of the reason why I put that reading up so early was so that we could all kind of prepare ourselves for our own triggers, and so that we could get ourselves well grounded and try to sync our hearts and our minds so that if we were dealing with other people's triggers, we could understand that they were probably being triggered through the energies and the emotions that were happening with the full moon last month, and maybe we could handle it a little more logically, or at least make us more aware. So that's why I put it up so early last month, because it was such an emotional time. I thought we could all stand to just be able to deal with it, because the emotions coming into that full moon and the emotions afterwards, it was a rocky time. I certainly ran into some people who took their triggers out on me, and then that triggered me very quickly, because I've told you before, I'm a fire sign, and that's an energy I work with. There are positive sides to my being the way that I am, and then there are negative sides to my being the way that I am, and I accept all of it, because that's the balance. That's what makes me who I am. But it's not an excuse for me to go out into the world and act poorly just because I have a lot of triggers or a hot temper. And I try to be aware of that, and that's what I try to do for me. So that's why I put that up early. so we could all, try to treat ourselves the best that we could, be aware of ourselves, and maybe be aware that other people might be being triggered in that time too. Maybe handle it as logically as we could. So that's why this one's not going up quite so early. I'm doing this reading tonight. It's Friday, it's the 17th, and the new moon is coming in on the 20th. So a few days early, but this is not going to be as crazy as it was. This moon really is about nurturing yourself, self-caring, pulling some energy from the earth's healing, wonderful Mother Earth's healing, nurturing energy. And then in this moon phase, with that type of nurture going on, we may be we might be feeling a little nesty. And what I mean by nesting is, that's always what I call it. Really wanting to do something with our space, our home, or our yards, improvements, even if it's like just cleaning out space and cleaning out clutter, or rearranging our furniture, or throwing some paint on the wall, or just deciding that we want to move our knickknacks around, or whatever it is, just that feeling of wanting to make our space sacred. So this is kind of like a nesting time. We may all start feeling, if we haven't already, that we want to kind of nest or create our yards into like the sacred space. And the energy with this new moon is very supportive of that. So if that's what you're wanting to do, or if that's what you've started to do, this energy with this moon is very supportive of creating that safe, wonderful, good feeling space within your home or your yard or your office. If you spend a lot of time there, you might be feeling you want to like juice that up and get some positivity going in there. These are all good things, and the energy is very supportive of that. So let's see what the first card off the top of the deck. We're using the Deviant Moon deck, because why wouldn't we use the moon deck, right? It's a moon reading. And the card is, the journey. So wands are about the journey, and always about the journey. And this is the wands. And if you look, she's following her path. She's going down her path. She's just trusting. She's walking down the path. You can see it's a little scary for her, but she's doing it. She's putting one foot in front of the other, taking one step at a time. She's following her path. And if you see, there's a lot of there's shadows and darkness. It's dark. If you can see that, see how those wands are all bloomed. Isn't that beautiful? There's life in her journey. So this means that this is she's following her path. It might seem a little scary, but it's definitely on point, because there's life in those wands. There's life in those wands, and she's surrounded by the life in the wands down the path. So, and that's the other thing. 2020 is really about us finding what moves us. So it may be, finally getting in touch with your true purpose here. Or, because most of us don't know what we're doing here when we get here, right? I mean, nobody knows what they're doing here. We're fumbling through this life, just trying to figure it out. So, we reach a point in our lives where we might be like, what am I here for? Am I following the purpose that my soul came here to follow? Or it could be, what am I doing in this job? When this job doesn't make me happy, let me move into a new job. So following our path. And this card is showing us that if you're inclined to tune in and do these readings with me, there's probably something in this reading for you, right? Just like there's going to be something in it for me, because I'm the one doing the reading. So whenever we do this type of work together, there's something in it for all of us. If this doesn't resonate with you, it's just not meant for you. But generally when people tune in or find something, it's because there's something in this for them. And so this is a really positive card. It's upside down to me, the reader, which means this is an internal thought. Am I following my path? I think I'm following my path. It's a little scary, but I think I'm following my path. And the message is yes. And there's life in that path. And so stay positive. And whatever the path is that you're choosing right now, or the path that you're thinking of choosing, if you're thinking of swapping over, there's life in that path. So there's good things there for you, if that's what you're doing. There's life in this journey. And that's exciting. And so if you're manifesting, and we know that new moons are all about new things, so if you're manifesting and you're thinking about changing it up, and you're going to be moving into a new profession or whatever, this is a great time to use the energies at play to use that and help you in manifesting. The new moon is so cleansing and so strong. It's the darkest night of the year. The dark is always representative of our intuitiveness and our feminine energy, that energy where ideas are built, where we listen, where we hone in, and then later we take those ideas and we move them into something. But the feminine energy is always about the tuning in and listening and feeling our way and coming up with new ideas. And then later we can put them into play. But as we come up with them and we decide that that is what we want to use that, use the moon's energy to help propel that energy forward and manifest what it is that we want in our lives. So this is a great card. This is a yes. Feel that you're doing what's right. Just feel. So if there's any question, if you've been wondering, if you've been a little nervous, a little scared, not sure, the answer is yes. There's life in this journey. Do it. Do it up. Okay, so that's that card, okay? And now, I know I usually use the Mermaid Dolphin deck, but I just felt like I wanted to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. So I'm going to give this a quick shuffle. I shuffled them a little bit before I tuned in, but I'm going to give this a quick shuffle. It's the Lightworker Oracle deck. It's, to me, a beautiful card. It's another set of cards that my son got for me. He has excellent taste. He knows me very well. And I felt like this is what we needed tonight for this new moon. I'm so happy to be sitting here giving a card read about energies that are really a little less difficult to work with. I really feel like after the couple of weeks that we may have had, with before and during and after the last moon, that this is really positive and fresh for us, you know? This is the new moon, so we got some things behind us. Maybe we were triggered, and those triggers are there to kind of give us an idea of what's going on within us, what we might want to look at, what we might want to reflect on, and nurture ourselves and love ourselves through, and come to peace with. And if it's not really behaviors or thought patterns that are serving us, try to find another way and seek the tools to help us do that. So that's why we get triggered. That's why we go through those emotional roller coasters. They're growth spurts. They don't feel all that good in the moment when they're happening, but they're growth spurts. So for any of us that had some things going on with that last moon, we get to grow a little. Isn't that lovely? It's important. It's a key component to being here in this life. So I think I'm just going to pull one off the top because I just feel like they're ready. So pulling one right off the top, off the Lightworker Oracle, and it's Divine Talents. So these cards go nicely together. They always do, don't they? So we have the following our path, and yes, there's life in it, and it might be a little scary, and we might be questioning that, but there's life in that journey. There's life in the journey that we're taking right now. That makes me feel good because I have a few things that I'm doing right now, and this makes me feel really good. So, and I hope it does you too. Life in the journey. So then we're looking at Divine Talents, and this is an oracle deck, so it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. With the tarot, upside down is internal, the feelings that we're having and the answers that we're seeking. And upright is our external world, what's going on around us. And with the oracle deck, the message is just the message. It doesn't matter whether it's upside down or not. So this is Divine Talents. Divine Talents is all about we come here and we've chosen our lives. Really, basically, we chose our lives before we got here. I think that's often why so many of us feel like there might be something missing if we're not enhancing those things that we really do want in this life. We feel like it's missing, and that's why we seek to find. And when we find something that feels good, then we're like, yes. And but the divine talents are the talents that you came in here with, and maybe you haven't discovered them yet, or maybe you're just discovering them yet. So they can be anything from writing, teaching, creative projects, crafting, painting, artistry, being a musician, like landscaping, doing gardens, being a chef, divine talents, what you excel at, because these are talents that you came in with, things that just come to you naturally or easily. So your divine talents. And it goes really well with this card because it's saying use those divine talents. Those divine talents. Those God-given, universal given, spiritually guided talents that you just know you've always had. They flow from you. Embrace those. It would seem as though these are the things, I just had a, quite a large bird come up, look through my window at me, hover there, look until I looked, and then it hovered a second longer and flew off. Divine. The divine. Birds, the balance between heaven and earth. So it's a cool thing to happen right now during the card read. Very cool thing to happen right now during the card read. I wish you all could have seen it, but so it would seem as though for those of us that this has some meaning for our path and the thing that feeds us and the thing that has life in it comes from our divine guidance and our divine talents. And like I said, those talents can be a wide range of anything. They can be, you could be a whiz with numbers and always have been, or, everybody is so unique and we all have our own path here and we all have our own mission here. And so whatever your divine talent is more than likely the path that you're walking down. Might be a little scary because it might be something completely different than what you've been doing. So If that's the case, good luck to you. This is the new moon. It's it's just an amazing energy with the new moons to manifest, manifest, manifest. So if you're making changes, manifest, manifest. And if you've been making changes and, right along, keep manifesting. Trust, trust, trust in the divine, trust in your intuition, and keep doing what it is that you're doing to propel you down this path, because it's a good path. It's a good path. It's one that's meant for you. All right, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope you enjoy the full moon, the new moon, and the energies of the new moon. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Nurture, nurture, nurture. Get some nice earthing in so that you can suck up that nurturing, healing energy from our Mother Earth. And listen to your gut. Follow your intuition. It might be a little scary. Use your divine talents. There's life in the journey. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your manifesting. And enjoy the journey. I'll see you next time.